Hi everyone, welcome to Philosophical Exploration, where we explore all aspects of the life experience. My name is Oleg Vydra, and today let's talk about meditation and enlightenment. The combination of the two, because the two go together, right? Because in order to develop an enlightened state of being, an enlightened state of mind, an enlightened consciousness, an enlightened conscious awareness, right? You have to do the inner work. Meditation is one of the ways that you do the inner work. Meditation, contemplation, spending time with yourself, with your eyes closed, going deep into what we might call a pure conscious or pure consciousness awareness, where you are no longer anything, right? You are letting go of everything, and that pure consciousness is that connection with source, with energy, with all that life is, and out of that unified field, out of that field of all possibilities, right? Out of that tranquility, all the ideas, all the clarity that comes up, that creates that stable, calm state of being, which is necessary in order to develop an enlightened state of being. But from my own experience is that it's not enough to just meditate, right? Because the mind is active all the time, and I believe that the mind and the emotions and how we feel and how we act and react to things, all that has to do with developing the enlightened state of being as well. Of course, meditating affects the mind and so on, but I think part of the philosophical exploration, developing that philosophy, the proper way of thinking, the proper way of perceiving, how you reflect onto everything that's going on around you is very important. In conjunction with meditation, contemplation, reflection, all those things, developing an overall enlightened state of mind or an enlightened state of being. For example, we come, a lot of our friends come from a community of transcendental meditation in Fairfield, Iowa, where we were all there as part of like a utopian get-together where our parents either sent us or our parents were living there, and the idea was that we meditate twice a day, morning and afternoon, consistently. Of course, it helped us in clearing our mind, alleviating stress. You incorporate yoga into the equation, eating healthy food. And, for a lot of people, it was kind of like in their mind, it was set, it was believed that if you meditate twice a day consistently, you're going to become eventually enlightened. And I believe it's a big part of that. But it's not the only part, because I have known many people who have consistently for quite some time meditated twice a day. But when you spend time with them when they're not in that state of meditation, the way they perceive life, the way they speak, the way they stress, or the way they express themselves, the way they react to life circumstances, it wasn't very enlightening, right? So just because they meditated twice a day consistently isn't enough, but it is a very important part, I believe, because an enlightened state of mind or an enlightened state of being is a development of your whole life experience. When you can balance everything out in your life, when you can create a certain balance and clarity in every aspect of your life, how you look at yourself, how you look at others, how you perceive this life, the resources that you have, the freedom. So if you need to move about, you have the financial resources, you have the ability of knowing how to communicate and work with energy and with people, being conscious, being aware, being empathetic, just being everything, right? When you can really balance all that, including the inner reflection and the meditation that is necessary to bridge everything together, can allow a person to live an enlightened lifestyle experience. And it is something that's within us, I believe, naturally. It's when we get rid of all the things, it naturally bubbles up from the unified, field, as we can say it, or from that source energy, from existence. I don't think that any of these things that we're learning to develop, or that we're searching for, or we're trying to develop in our life is something that just comes from somewhere, right? I believe that this infinite knowledge, right, is within us. And I believe as we connect more to this infinite knowledge, and as we allow the negative things, the things that get in the way, to go away, to peel away, right? This natural, happy, enlightened state of being comes into fruition, which is it's our right as part of the human evolutionary process, and it's our right as a human experience on this planet. Anyway, that's my belief, and that's what I've learned over time in life, and I'm sharing it with you. I always say in any of my videos, and that is, regardless of what I'm saying, you have to think about life on your own. You have to take in what I'm giving you, what others have given you, but you have to take responsibility to sit, to think about it, to contemplate, to meditate, to come to your own realization, because my realization gives me a foundation, gives me strength, gives me clarity, gives me security in what I'm talking about, makes me feel good. I know it's real because it's part of my experience. And if you don't have your own experience, you're just repeating what somebody else says, whether it's me or somebody else's book or somebody else's words or whatever it may be. But if you come into the same understanding and experience from within you through your life, then we can connect. You can share with others. We can have that same understanding, because nobody can experience your life. Nobody can do what you need to do for your life except we ourselves, each one of us, have to do the work. So let's continue down this road. One of the things that I've created, for example, to help me, and eventually I want to create an online course and write a book about it, is, for example, I call it the 10 Pillars of Life. And it's mind, body, money, love, energy, happiness, inspiration, meditation, self-realization, enlightenment. And of course, under these 10 pillars of life, there's so many other subcategories, but this is something that the words that have inspired come into my life through phases, and my wife, through contemplation and talking about it with my wife. It started off with just mind, body, money, right? I wanted to write a book just based on those three subcategories. But as we kept talking about and our love and the energy we feel and things that have come up, all those 10 categories really summarize the whole life experience. And if you balance out all those categories, right, you come into a state, because you feel so good about yourself and the life you're building and created for yourself and the life that you're living, that you experience this ecstatic feeling, right? A sense of ecstasy, a sense of enlightened state of being. And you want to share with others. And so you find ways. And this is the way I'm finding a way. And the thing about an enlightened state of mind or an enlightened state of being is that it goes in waves. At least that's my own experience, because I find it sometimes I feel so balanced, I feel so good, I feel such spirit and energy. And remember, this is all naturally. I'm no longer doing anything to take me into this kind of process. This is all done naturally through just a natural life experience. And when I feel great, when I feel in tune with the infinite, when I feel amazing in this regard, and I'm sharing it with others, I feel like that's a wave, an enlightened state of being, right? That I'm feeling, an ecstatic state of being that I'm feeling. But things do happen in life. Sometimes we don't get enough rest. Sometimes things happen, we get triggered, and we get taken off a little bit. So it goes in waves. And our job, once we've already tasted it, once we've already understood it, is to work through things as they come up, through the waves in life, no matter what they are. Not to be like, oh my God, I thought I was enlightened. I'm supposed to be, yes, eventually maybe you'll be a consistently stable, enlightened person. But you may just go in and out with waves, and things will happen in life. And when they do happen, it's important to work through these things that happen to all of us all the time, because that's part of the life experience, is to work through them as quickly as possible, through any of these issues or situations or challenges. Create that clarity and come back to that restful, meditative, enlightened state of mind, enlightened state of being as quickly as possible. Sometimes it may take a day, a few days, a week, whatever it may be. Each person's experience is going to be individual, and then you're going to come in more and more often into this enlightened state of mind, and you're going to, it'd be like anything in life, right? All of a sudden, the first time that you rode that board, on that wave for a few minutes, you're like, oh, I touched it, I felt it, it happened, right? And then you keep falling off, then you do it a little bit longer, a little bit. Anytime you've touched something, anytime you've become in tune with anything, right? The more you do it, it resonates with you, and it becomes more of a stable foundation for you to work with, and it becomes more stable as part of your life experience. So that's kind of what I've been going through for many years now, and I'm specifically focused in this direction now and trying to develop it to be as stable as possible, and creating these foundations so I can stay feeling this way with my family, through my family experience, through our travel, through our family, through life, through business, through everything. And it's a work in progress, but it's a beautiful work in progress because it fulfills your life. It gives you something to do, and you start to not be caught up by so many other things out there that are trying to catch you, and trying to catch your mind, and trying to catch your attention, and trying to catch your emotions and take you away from that inner peace. One of the things we've stopped doing is watching television, watching news broadcasts that bring us down. Doesn't mean that we don't get the news on the internet. Doesn't mean that we don't download a movie once in a while. And everybody will find their own balance. But believe it or not, it's amazing how that frequency there gets your attention and decides whether things are well or not well, and whether you should be panicking or you should be worried. Where in reality, there's still some pretty good perfect order in this universe. But everybody's trying to take you off that order, off that balance. And we just choose as a family not to connect with that, not to give them the opportunity to do that, because life is pretty extraordinary if you start to connect this way. And we have a right. You know, we've come onto this planet. We have a right to live life according to our in-depth understanding and the way we can develop it. And we don't have to get connected to that matrix, to that system, to that flow. We can be within our own flow. And being in this kind of flow, for example, it's amazing how many people we attract, how many people we meet that are also working in this direction, that have also disconnected themselves from that mainstream information that makes you want to panic and go crazy mentally. And we connect and we inspire each other, right? And it's in different parts of the world. We connect with people like that, whether it be in the US, in Ukraine. We're in Bali right now. Of course, we connect with a lot of people that way here because there's a lot of people working on their consciousness, their awareness. And what's great is that here you have people, whether they're from Russia, from Ukraine, from Australia, from the US, from Europe, and you have everybody, and you realize how much more similarity people have than the differences that when you're watching different political shows and all the broadcasts in each unique country that is, you know, trying to make them, you know, selves think better and everybody else down. But the reality is that we are all human beings, equal, with equal rights on this planet. And there's so many people trying to evolve in this direction, in the enlightenment direction, right? And meditation is a big part of it. And so, of course, meditation and enlightenment go hand in hand, but it's not the only thing. And we've had this conversation with somebody in the past, and that's why I wanted to bring it up here, because it's a great topic. Because some people say, well, if you meditate regularly, eventually you're going to be enlightened. Well, one of the things that should be part of your base foundation of developing an enlightened lifestyle experience, for you to be a light unto others and unto yourself, is that you should meditate and contemplate. You should connect with that inner soul conscious, with that inner source energy, with that conscious awareness, with that pure consciousness, with that universe, right? From within to the out, it's all interconnected, and there's a lot of depths within and a lot of depths without, and I think both have to equally be taken care of. But I think all other aspects also need to be addressed and balanced out and worked on and clarified in your life to truly, for you to be able to maintain a consistent, balanced, enlightening life experience. And that's what my wife and I are going through. That's what our family, we're going through this waves. We talk about it. We have challenges at times. We overcome them. And then individually and as a family, we come into this clarity and we're feeling good and we're enjoying that wave and we're riding it. And then something might come up. We deal with it. We use our knowledge and experience to deal with things quicker and faster, and we can bring ourselves back to this restful, balanced, awesome state of mind. We don't drink alcohol, don't do any extracurriculars. We don't even always drink coffee, but I'll have to be honest with you, that's still an Achilles heel I haven't been willing to give up. We did give up even coffee and any caffeinated drinks for almost a year when my wife was pregnant, and but afterwards I've kind of been enjoying it, and so I'm consciously aware that at some point I'm going to give up any little vice, and I consider even caffeine a vice. But for now, with all honesty, I'm still occasionally enjoying that cappuccino or latte or whatever it might be. So again, it's my choice. It's where I am. I'm consciously aware of it. I contemplate it. I even think about it. and we'll see where I go with it. And for you, it's up to you to decide what is your balance and what is your pathway that's necessary for you to create that balance between meditation, enlightenment, and the entire life experience, because life becomes a state of meditation. Your life expression becomes an enlightening life expression if you work on everything in your life. And you may resonate with what I'm talking about as the 10 pillars of life, and what I'm trying to share as a system of structure that works for me and works for my wife and I as we talk about it, and we want to share it with others. If you resonate with it, sorry, I'm just looking at the time for a second, and for a second I thought the video wasn't on, and I'm going, I'm recording all this and the video isn't even turned on, but it is. So let's keep going. You have to find what you resonate with, because there's a lot of programs out there, right? There's a lot of people talking and sharing, and maybe there's a lot of things you resonate with. Take it all in, right? It's your job to take in anything that you feel this connection with, anything that inspires you, anything that kind of, makes you feel good about going in the direction of your dreams, about developing the foundation for your life in order for you to feel good. And only you know what you resonate with. And every person has a different frequency, because everything is a frequency, different vibration, different information, different punctuation, different way of presenting things. And so if you connect with the way I present things, awesome. Love to connect with you. Love to keep sharing. Don't have it developed yet. I just have a very clear vision that it's going to be the 10 pillars of life. I've been talking about it for quite some time. I'm starting to write about it, starting to record about it, and eventually, like I said, I would like to have an online course, would like to have a book in this direction, and would love to help as many people as possible. And I am always my own first student, right? I'm always working on it and working on it in my own life. And because every person, through their life experience, because life itself is the greatest source, and it's the greatest teacher, and it's the greatest source for our spiritual awakening, this whole life experience. And so I'm always my first student, my own first guru and master, and I take in all the information and then I share back with you, and I hope to connect with as many people as possible. It feels great. Feels great to connect with people, because it's the natural thing to do also. It's natural for people to connect. It feels good for people to connect. So you should connect with as many people as possible that have that similar energy. You should share with them, let them share with you. And there's this, this awakening that's happening on this planet. And I know it still seems so far away from where you feel that everyone's awakened and the world has changed. But the truth is, it's happening a lot more. Even when 20 years ago, when this, we were just talking in this direction, I wasn't running into as many people as I am now. There's so many new people. So it is picking up. But the world is still going through a whole bunch of stuff, and it may almost seem like it's a lost cause, but nothing's a lost cause in this world. If you feel something, if it's part of our expression, it's part of our evolutionary contexts to go in this direction. And on the universal evolutionary context, hundreds of thousands, even millions and billions of years is natural. For us, time is so much more linear, right? So it's so much more intense for us, and we want to see so much happen so much quicker. So you have to, if there's anything to have faith and believe in, I have faith and believe in this, that I am adding to this vibration. I'm doing what I can, and in a big picture, even beyond my lifetime span, I'm adding to this ripple, right? To this universal ripple, to this unified field that is expanding and unfolding, and with every generation, that's going to keep happening. And I believe that there's going to be amazing things that are going to happen with human evolution and consciousness and technology, because technology is helping spread the word. Technology is going to open our minds, because right now we're limited to our way of thinking on this planet and to very small issues. But when you open up your mind of possibilities, the field of all possibilities, and where technology is going, we are galactic beings that are going to be traveling galactically, learning so much more, meeting so much more. We're going to be living on different planets. When I say we as a human civilization, we'll probably meet other civilizations. It'll crack open the mind completely, all the systems and belief. You're going to start letting go, and it's just going to keep going. And that's what I just feel. And it seems like the trajectory, it seems like the natural trajectory at the rate things are going. And it took us thousands of years to get here, but now the speed is evolving so much. Imagine what people thought 1,000 years ago. This wasn't even imaginable. People weren't even thinking that way. So we live in exciting times. Things are spinning. The world is spinning so much quicker. So it's so important to have control of your thought process, of how you're perceiving life, of your philosophy, of your understanding when things are happening, how you're interpreting them, how you're thinking about them, how you're acting and reacting about them. So important. And this conscious awareness allows you to work in this direction. This is why I am constantly working in this direction now. I think it's so important. Otherwise, you can lose your mind so quickly, right? Otherwise, the things you're listening to out there, the frequencies, the broadcast can take you away, and you might feel like you're just in chaos and it's all about to end, but it's not about to end, right? The universe is so much grander than these things. Don't let them totally take control of your mind and take you into that direction. So it's necessary to do the work to keep this positive vibe, to keep your mind open, not stagnated to any one idea or concept or structure or system. Keep it open, keep exploring. It's amazing, this feeling. It's amazing. And so now that I'm into it more and more often and easier and more consistent, now that it's a more stable foundation in my life, I love to take the time to record and create, these, what will be retreats and seminars and books and everything, because that's what I've always wanted to do. People have known me in 20 years back. I've always said I wanted to do this, but I wasn't clear at all how exactly it's going to come together or when it's going to be the right time. And I'm a late bloomer. I've met some people in their mid to late 20s and their early 30s that are doing amazing work in this direction, have already put out books and created retreats and seminars, and God bless you. That's awesome, because it just goes to show, you don't have to. But my path was a little bit longer. I did a lot of things in life. I had to learn a lot in life. I did a lot of business ventures that were up and down. I did a lot of just experiences. I've traveled a lot. I've been in a lot of relationships. That was my path, right? But I'm happy to where I am today, and I'm happy to be going through this life experience as I'm going through it now, and I'm happy to be sharing with everybody. And I want to tell everybody that it's never, ever, ever too late. It doesn't matter how old you are, because as long as you're living and breathing and thinking, it's not too late. That's the bottom line. You can always consciously evolve just a little bit more, no matter where you are while you're alive on this planet. And it feels great to consciously evolve. It's a vibration we send into the universe while we're still on this planet. We do have a limited amount of time, and we should take advantage of every moment of our time. There should never be a retirement from life, right? Life should be this continuous, evolving, beautiful process to the very end, whenever that end is. And there is really no end, because I don't think such a perfect universe, I don't think such perfect creation would have created such life and energy just to say it ends, and because we've learned that every energy just takes a transformation. So I don't have the answers to everything, because some people have the answers to everything. I don't pretend that I have exact answers. Just from a feeling level, I feel that when our bodies and energy in this form come to an end, we progress into a new form of energy, and there's some kind of a continuation, maybe into, again, coming back on this planet. I do have a feeling towards that, maybe into some other form of energy. Who knows exactly? We'll talk more about it, because I feel a certain way. Other people have gained into certain knowledge and experience we share with each other, but it's important, unless you truly know and understand, not to limit your mind and be like, this is the way it is just because somebody said so. No, do you really feel it? Is that your understanding? That is truly being a light unto yourself. That is truly being a consistently evolving, educating, processing, advancing human being, right? Always keeping your options open and allowing truth and existence to come into play, and allowing it to expand our consciousness and our awareness and our minds and our thought process. What a beautiful thing. All right, guys, almost, these kind of discussions, these topics, they inspire me so much. Technically, if I was here sitting and just talking with somebody, I could talk for hours. I always love chatting with you. Every time I finish a video, new thoughts come into mind. That's okay, no problem. I'll record additional videos. Always, always, always sending my love out to all of you. When I'm recording this, I can feel you guys out there. I don't know who exactly, but I can feel that energy, that spirit that's out there that we are communicating with, that we're connecting with. And if you have any questions, give a shout out, send me a message, sign up to the channel if you haven't yet. Support me. If you need support, I support you. I love this process. It's an amazing process. So I bid you guys peace on your journey, because it is a journey, but it's an amazing journey. Keep that positive attitude. Keep that process amazing in your life. Don't forget, and if you ever do, come on, check out some of my videos, and I'm going to always remind you. And I always appreciate it when you guys remind me as well. Thanks again. Take care. I'll see you next time.